Hey, what's up? And welcome into Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for downloading the podcast and supporting us on YouTube, youtube.com. Look for Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Like, share, subscribe, and comment on everything we do with Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. We are presented by the fine folks over at Marriott Bonvoy. Points for the whim. Buy now, go whenever. When inspiration hits, have the points to make it happen. Whether it's a rewarding detour or an impromptu experience, there are countless places to go and things to do. Buy or give points now at Marriott Bonvoy. My family are big users of Marriott Bonvoy over the years. I can tell you the story of the ESPN Chicago, all of us going to Las Vegas for the Bears Raiders game, and there was a separate Marriott Bonvoy area in the hotel that we're staying in. There was this long line, and Carmen DeFalco said, "Hey, there's a Marriott Bonvoy separate area in this hotel." We made a beeline. Those of us that are Marriott Bonvoy users, we made a beeline over there, like a whole different area of the hotel. Got in line and boom, right into our rooms. It was so cool and so convenient to be part of Marriott Bonvoy. Make sure that you click the link in the bio of this podcast, and you're right there. You can be able to check out how you can get yourself points or gift points for people for Marriott Bonvoy. Check it out. Make sure you book with my link, Marriott Bonvoy. A great opportunity for you to be able to go places that you didn't think you can go. I mean, all across the country and around the world because of Marriott Bonvoy. We're going to talk to Charles Taylor, my buddy from the CTJ Report.net. We'll get his thoughts about the Bears and the matchup against the Rams. This has been so much fun to see the Bears at this stratosphere with an opportunity to get to the next level, defeating the Green Bay Packers. And we'll talk a little bit about that, of course, because we have some remnants still about how well the Bears played in that second half to get themselves in a position to beat the Packers. But then we got to move on because the Rams are coming in here on Sunday. We now know it's going to be a 5:30 game, the last game of the playoffs for that weekend. What a great opportunity for Bears fans to go out there and check out the Bears and the Rams on Sunday night. It's going to be so much fun. So we're going to talk to Charles Taylor about what's going on with this Bears team and this matchup against the Rams and a lot more with our guy, Charles Taylor. Don't forget, by the way, as I mentioned, I like, share, and subscribe and comment to everything we do with Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Also, we have the Hoodie Club that is available right now. Sounds funny, right? The Hoodie Club. You can be able to check out this video on YouTube before everyone else does because you're part of the Hoodie Club. Also, we got certain perks, my thoughts on Bleck and Abdallah leaving ESPN Chicago, my thoughts about leaving ESPN Chicago, our building on State and Lake. We're moving to a different building, so I give you a tour of that. Also, a tour of what happened as far as in LaPorte, Indiana. That was so much fun. The LaPorte Invitational Basketball Tournament Cap and I went to. So there's some footage of that as well. If you're part of the Hoodie Club, it's right there. Make sure that you check it out on YouTube. And thanks so much for listening on Spotify, wherever you get your podcast as well. We are growing because of you. So thank you so much for helping us out here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Let's talk some Bears right around the corner. Don't forget, we are brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy. The link is in the bio right now. Check it out. Just click it. Didn't cost you anything to click. Find out how you can be able to save and get your points or gift points to Marriott Bonvoy. Oh, it is now time to talk about the Bears. The Bears are going to take on the Rams. By the way, some breaking news. I will be on ESPN Chicago on Sunday with David Kaplan. We have a very special show between 9 and 11 a.m. Central Time on ESPN 1000. Also, the ESPN Chicago app will be part of that pregame show because we got to talk about it, not only here on Under the Hood, but also on the flagship, on the mothership, ESPN Chicago. So look forward to that. Look forward to talking to Charles Taylor as well. Charles Taylor is our guest here. We're going to give him off of Bulls duty. The CTJReport.net is where you can find Charles Taylor, blogger, and also a resident smart aleck here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. And he joins us here. Charles, thanks for joining us.
Jay Hood, how you feeling, sir?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. You know why? Because the Bears are in the playoffs. And the more you and I can talk about the Bears, the less you can complain and bitch about the Bulls. We had to bring you on because, I mean, I can't. We don't have any Bulls conversation to talk about with the Bears, so you need to have your airtime. That's all I was saying. I'm looking at the roster. I'm like, well, I can't wait until like after the Bears are out of the playoffs or after the Super Bowl. That
Right.
means we wouldn't be on until late February. That's no good.
Right, that's 3-4 weeks.
That doesn't work. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, Charles Taylor has a very fine under the hood hoodie on, fresh out the box. Looks very fresh, fresher than mine.
Yes, very fresh.
Where'd you get that from?
Wow, glad you asked. Why don't you click on the link? The J Hood. Click on this link. The store is right there. You get this merch right here. You see this? This is navy blue. This is my color right here. So I was like, but they got it in black, different colors. Get t-shirts, get mugs. Yo, shop there, man. Shop under the hood, right there, right there, right there, under the hood.
Yeah, that's good. It's a win, by the way, that Charles's wife doesn't have it on yet. So that's good.
Yeah, hoodies, kings, protect them, protect the hoodies. That's all I'm saying. Just protect the hoodies.
We got t-shirts, and indeed we do have hoodies. We've got beanie hats and trucker hats, and we've got the mugs and something for the ladies as well. So check it out. That's in the bio of the podcast, the Under the Hood merchandise store, available for you right now. Represent the podcast you love listening to. It's Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Sir, we have not spoken since the end of that game with the Bears against the Packers. We're going to move forward and talk about the Rams, but I just want to get your overall thoughts because, as I said several times now, when people come to me and say, "I can't believe the Bears won that game," my thought is like, "Well, I can believe it because I saw it 6 times previous." But this one here had a lot more juice because of the playoffs, the way the stadium actually shook, and so. It was such a great moment for the Chicago Bears. How did you take it in?
So for the first, 3.5 quarters, just like all Bears fans, we were all just sitting there depressed, just because of how poorly they played. And it's one thing, to play poorly. I mean, they played poorly against the Lions, for the regular season finale, but I don't think there was a lot of angst really against that Lions game because you knew we had the 2 seed locked up because we watched Philly lose. So it was like, all right, well, let's just get into the playoffs. We got the 2 seed. We know who we're playing. It's the Packers. But to watch them come out and just be so flat for 3 quarters, at least offensively, they were flat for 3 quarters. It was maddening. I'm just sitting up there looking at the team and just going, not like this. Not to the Packers, not to that team. And somehow, some way, Ben Johnson, stopped being arrogant. he finally got out of his own way and started calling, maybe he grabbed a different playbook. I don't know, but he was able to really turn that thing around, and they just exploded in the 4th quarter. But also give props to the defense because the defense really from the second half on turned up the pressure. 4 consecutive 3-and-outs. Was really the key to just kind of get this thing. It was a slow roll for this Bears comeback, but it started with the defense and them being able to really slow that offense down because in the first half, they just seemed like they were incapable of stopping anything.
So why does this feel different than the first year of Matt Nagy? I know a lot of people don't want to go there because Matt Nagy, even though Nagy had several playoff appearances as a head coach, but we remember how magical that first year was, where another smart offensive coordinator is pulling stuff out the playbook and showing you how smart he is. And so we had fun watching Santa's sleigh and all these different type of plays that were called by Matt Nagy. But Charles, it just feels different with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson wins the NFC North in his first year. He goes 11-6 after they went 5-12 the previous year. Beat the Packers in the playoffs, and Chicago's first playoff win since 2010. I mean, this is a massive success, but why does it feel different than Nagy? Is it because we know the result of Nagy, or is it because Johnson seems like he's got his head on his shoulders?
I think it's a case of both, but let's start with Ben Johnson. He's got something different. He's brought a different culture to the Bears. And it really started, if you go all the way back to the moment that he was hired in his first press conference, he just brought a different energy. And the team, keep in mind, we've talked about this in the past. Yes, they've upgraded their offensive line with some key acquisitions, but a lot of these players from last year's team are still here. So what has changed? Well, Ben Johnson has come in and changed the culture for the team. And it starts with the guy who's got the ball the most, number 18. The way that Caleb and Ben have been able to just almost be just in lockstep and just really energize the team. This is what feels different about it. Nagy, they had a dominant defense back in 2018, but it was more so of, can this offense score enough? And yeah, Nagy's supposed to be this offensive mind, but can he really, get some drives going? Can we really score some touchdowns when we really need it? We're seeing this with Ben Johnson. They're scoring when they need to. And evidence is that is 25 points in the fourth quarter. They just erupted, touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. That's what feels different. The culture feels different. The energy is different. This feels like a complete coaching staff that is competent, that knows how to make adjustments on the fly, and knows how to get the best out of the players, regardless of whether they're healthy or they're just playing out there hurt. Listen, Jalen Johnson and both Kyler Gordon are they're hobbling out there. That your secondary is a mash unit out there. And yet somehow, some way, Dennis Allen and the coaching staff was able to make changes on the defensive side to get them to make plays. You also saw it with Montez Sweat. Didn't appear that much in the stat sheet, but he started, getting some more pressure, making Jordan Love just a little bit uncomfortable. Those little tweaks. That's what we didn't see with Matt Nagy in 2018. We're seeing it now. And I think that's why the city is just like, city is just, lit. They are lit because this feels different. This feels like, especially with this year, with the teams that are left in the playoffs, why not us? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, watching this team and just watching Caleb Williams, I can't say enough about a young man, Charles, rebounding from year one to year two. And so what Caleb Williams is doing is making me right? Because in year one, what I said is that when you have a defensive coordinator as a head coach, I mean, I gave Eberflus the benefit of the doubt by saying, here's a guy here that could, as a DC, that could say, Caleb, like if I'm the DC, I look for you to do these tendencies. So you can't do these tendencies because I look out for that. It's kind of the mirror effect, right? It's not an OC, or offensive mind, it's defensive mind. I said, Eberflus can help in that regard, and he did not help in that regard. The coaching staff did not help in that regard. When you fire Shane Waldron, when Thomas Brown, all that, like when you have that much going on in year one, it was a complete mess. But it's amazing when you have somebody in the room, several coaches in the room, that could tell Caleb Williams, hey, man, like you have to be able to stay out of downtown like you were in year one.
Mm-hmm.
Can't kick it anymore. You got to be able to lock in on this. And by the way, you could tell, Charles, that he's not the complete genuine article yet. He's not the quarterback that everyone thinks he can be yet, because that magic has to be through 4 quarters, or at least several, right? Because, I mean, the clutch is there. You can't take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
But even Caleb would tell you, like, yeah, you know what? I still got some things to do. I still have to grow. Ben Johnson knows that. But I'll take this, knowing that there's more room for him to grow than for him to go backwards as a quarterback. So I'll take everything I'm getting right now. And can you imagine what year 3, year 4, year 5 can look like when he puts it all together?
Yeah, and I think that's what's got Bears fans excited, because we know we haven't seen the finished product with 18. We know he's still got some growing and learning to do about the NFL game. But the things that we are seeing on a week in, week out basis, some of these throws, like there's only one or two other quarterbacks in this league that can make these throws that he's making. That 4th and
Yeah.
8 throw to Rome Odunze, that will be played for decades to come, because it's just one of those throws that you just look and you just go, I can't believe he made that pass. But that's the thing. That's what gets Bears fans excited. Is just we're watching the beginning. You know what this feels like? You and I are old enough to remember this. This feels like 84.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like. This feels like 84. This feels like if you're a Bulls fan, 89, 90 with the Bulls. You know, even more recent times with the Bears, this feels like the 05 Bears before the 06 Super Bowl run. We're watching something. Now what we want to see is just, can it be sustainable over years? You know, we've gotten this. We've gotten this division title. We've gotten this 2 seed. We've gotten to the divisional round. What happens next, you know, who knows? But by all accounts, this season has been a success. Now let's see what Caleb can do, you know, the following year. Hopefully with even more weapons, hopefully with a revamped defense, and see what they can do. But it's got us excited as Bears fans, and this is what you live for if you're a sports fan, to be behind a team that is on the way up and just enjoying the journey while it's here.
Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood is brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy. Book with Marriott Bonvoy. Make sure you click the link in my bio, because you could buy or gift points right now with Marriott Bonvoy. Why does the kid always travel? Why do I travel in the summers and in the fall? Because I got Marriott Bonvoy. So again, it's my gift to you. You can gift others with Marriott Bonvoy. Make sure, CJ, that you're booking with Marriott Bonvoy. Make sure you do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Make sure you do that. How about this? You're a working man, so I'm sure that you missed this on my show with David Kaplan. Our producer, Shay Norling, made this parallel. See if this resonates with you.
Okay.
He said that that 4th and 8, which we'll never forget, man. We are going to never forget 4th and 8. The Jordan logo, kicking of the legs, and then his arm out there. You know, it's so funny. People look at that as like the Jordan logo. Like, it's crazy, but I guess you could do that. He said that play was the equivalent of Jordan over Elo.
You know what? I'll buy that. That's the I've arrived throw. Like, I'm here, and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, I could totally see that comparison, because if Jordan misses that shot in 89, it goes back to, well, you know, the Bulls are still this up and coming team. They've got some growing to do, but he hits that shot, and then they beat the Knicks in the next series to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That was their statement. Hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. That was the same thing for Caleb, and finishing that drive off with a touchdown and completing the comeback is, again, this is my moment. I'm here. I'm putting everyone on notice in the NFC North, in the NFC, in the NFL. The Chicago Bears are going to be a team that you're going to have to deal with for as long as I'm here.
I totally understood that particular comparison, because if you go back to The Last Dance, a lot of young people don't realize that Jordan had to get through the Bucks first. The Terry Cummings and those guys, it was tough first to get through those guys, right?
Yeah.
But then it was the Cavs and Mark Price and Craig Elo and Brad Doherty and Ron Harper. That was difficult to get past the Cavs, especially in Cleveland. So you get the shot on Elo. Then your next step is to get past the Pistons. And the Pistons were different than those other teams. And you finally got past the Pistons, and you beat an old Laker team, and you win your first championship. But there was levels to this shit, man. I know the story can be written like Jordan just sonically was just, no, he had to go through the cocaine circus of the Bulls back in the day, man. It was not easy, man. Look at that Gene Banks and like Kyle Macy and like Dave Corzine and like, you know, like a Rush Street Reggie Theus. Shout out to Reggie.
Shout out.
And like all these guys. You know, I remember this was Orlando Woolridge's team and Reggie Theus's team. I'll never forget in practice when you had all the cameras around and you could still see the practice over the shoulder. And you could see Jordan by himself because no one really had the work ethic of Jordan. And he's up there by himself dunking the basketball. They rebound the ball. He goes up, dunk the basketball. And they asked Orlando Woolridge, they said, Big O, so what do you think of this kid Jordan that's on the team? And he looked over his shoulder and he looked back to the camera and said, it's his team now. And then I could do about it.
Yeah.
This is Jordan, like in year one, like, you know, in year two, like there's nothing you could do. So the equivalency of that, and I thought it was brilliant by Shay, our producers coming up with that. It's like, yeah, like the Bears are on their way to arrive in the NFC North, let alone the NFC. But that play kind of reminds you of like, yeah, we beat the Packers and utilizing that play. Well, the Bulls had to use that Jordan over Elo to be able to get to the next level too. So I think that that's all fair.
Oh yeah, it's that throw, that comeback just really reignited this rivalry. We know as Bears fans, this rivalry had been dead for well over 2 decades, save for, you know, a few of the Lovie Smith years. It's back. It's back. Packers fans have been put on notice. The Packers have been put on notice that this rivalry is back. And who better to do that than our head coach with his post-game comments, you know, with the team, you know, after the game ends. You know, I didn't have a problem with that. I don't know if you did.
No, that was a big topic on Tuesday morning. I led with it this morning. I pushed everybody the way to just go after Dick Vitale and those that have a problem with Ben Johnson saying "fuck the Packers." I just don't understand how we went from a strong sports, healthy rivalry, a good sports hate, to just being AAU soft. I don't know what happened there. Like, and I think that that's the problem, Charles, is like, you know, I understand that athletes work out with one another, NBA players, NFL players. I mean, you could be in an actual rivalry with the team and they work out with one another. They swap jerseys in the NBA and the NFL. Like, I know it's different. Everybody's in the same plane. Everyone's got the same agent. Everyone makes the same money. But I still think that when you are the oldest rivalry in the NFL, like the Bears and the Packers, there's nothing wrong with having a healthy sports hate. Ben Johnson says, I don't like that team. And people raise their skirts about it. And I'm just like, wait a minute, this is the essence of a rivalry. What happened? Like, so we're not allowed to be able to have rivalries anymore. Dick Vitale saying that Ben Johnson was classless is hilarious to me. You know why? Because he loved Bobby Knight. The fuck? Did he not like? He loved, and so Bobby Knight was his guy, and Bobby Knight, like classic rants, you know, again, just going after teams, going after players, a bunch of profanity, and guess what? That's sports, man. That's sports. So I just think it's hilarious that Vitale says, "Oh, baby, classless on the part of Ben Johnson saying that in the locker room." Like, but you love Bobby Knight? Like, I just thought that was that's wild to me.
Yeah, I didn't hear the Dick Vitale comments, and I try not to listen to too much of what Dick Vitale has said over the last 25 years. But this is what the rivalry is. Like, again, you and I are old enough to remember Mike Ditka hating Forrest Gragg's guts.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that was what it was. It was Bears Packers. I remember that game in Green Bay where Walter Payton's running, you know, runs out of bounds and the dude literally runs him all the way up into the stands. You know, I remember Charles Martin slamming Jim McMahon into the ground and ending his season. Like, those were real cheap shots back in the 80s and 90s. And, you know, it was just, hey, this is the rivalry. It's Bears Packers. You know, this is what it is. It's a sharp departure from Matt Eberflus sitting next to Green Bay's coach of the basketball game. I mean,
right.
I'm fine with it. This is what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be buddy with the opposition. I mean, is there, you know, respect? Yeah, cool. Fine, whatever. But once we get inside these football lines, it's all out war. And yeah, screw the other team. I don't like them. You shouldn't like them.
I just don't understand. So we are looking forward to Bears and Rams. Of course, the Rams come to Soldier Field. This is why you bust your ass in the regular season, because you want that home field, right? Just everyone is telling me how the building was shaking. Like, we don't get that often with Soldier Field. It shows you how much Bears fans were into that matchup against the Packers, willing the Bears in that fourth quarter to score 25 there and to be able to come back and win the game. So now here come the Rams. Sean McVay, the head coach for the Rams, said that Matthew Stafford has a sprained index finger on his throwing hand. He should be good to go. The temperature should be like around 0, should be pretty cold. So that's going to be a thing. But I look forward to the matchup. Bears are in some places, 3-point underdog at the crib, 3.5, as high as I've seen it across some Vegas sports books. But look, as long as there's a heartbeat and there's 4 quarters in a football game, no matter how smart, and McVay's at the top of his game offensively as an offensive coordinator, head coach, hey man, they struggle against Carolina. So I give the Bears more than a puncher's chance here against the Rams coming up on Sunday. What about you?
I do too. This game for me will probably be very similar, even with the cold conditions. That's going to be at Soldier Field on Sunday. This game feels eerily similar to that 49er game. I think a lot of points are going to be scored between both of these teams. Both defenses are struggling. The Rams appear to be a bit healthier than our defense. We've got that mash unit for a secondary right now. So it like the 49er game, it could come down to who has the ball last. I just think with both coaches being able to go deep into their bag to draw up plays, I think you're going to see a lot of things out there on the field. I think though, if it comes down to it and who I trust to get a stop, Dennis Allen has shown you over the course of this season, we can get a stop, if you absolutely need to, and he can draw up a scheme or two to be able to get that much needed stop. I think the Bears can do that. It's just going to be, hopefully we won't have to deal with another 21-3 type deficit in this game. And, if it's close in the fourth quarter, if it's a 1-score game in the fourth quarter, I trust Caleb Williams to find a way to get the job done. And I think that's what this is going to come down to. This is going to be a high scoring game. And if you love that 49er game, despite the outcome, I think you're going to love this game between the Bears and the Rams.
The injury report as we record this, Charles, is that the Bears placed linebacker TJ Edwards out with a broken fibula, a fractured fibula, and rookie left tackle Ozzie Trapillo sidelined with a ruptured patellar tendon. So they're both out for the season. And on injury reserve ahead of the game, the team activated not Tony Braxton, but Braxton Jones. You make me feel so high. Braxton Jones is back. Remember him? Remember Braxton Jones?
I remember that dude.
Yeah. Activated from the IR. I didn't even know he's hurt. I just thought he was just dipped.
I thought that was a healthy scratch. I mean,
I didn't even know. I haven't seen him on my depth charts since September. So then Theo Benedict, Braxton Jones from IR and left tackle Theo Benedict elevated from the practice squad. They got Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who was out there part of the help in the second half defensively for the Bears. I know you're just like, who is Reeves-Maybin? Like, this is who the Bears have been. Just anybody get out there with a Bears uniform and help, right? Yeah. They also signed free agent Nephi Sewell. Is this another Sewell?
Yeah, we got Noah 2.
Sewell?
Yeah, we got 2 now.
Oh, my God. The brother of Noah Sewell and Penei Sewell. Okay, so there is some depth issues here, but this whole thing with the Bears has been the next man up mentality. But you're right, though, when we talk about the secondary, listen, they are what they are. But you're right. I will give Coach Allen and that defense a lot of credit in that second half. They held them to 6 points. And I know McManus missed a kick and he also missed an extra kick as well, an extra point. But that defense stiffened in the second half. That's the hope that you see. I know I'm not going to get that for 4 quarters. We don't have much of a pass rush, even though, we saw a great play, by the way, by Sweat at the end of the game, being able to get that arm of Jordan Love to get the ball knocked out of bounds. I think that was cool.
Yeah.
But I hope that the defense can be able to hold some, because the offense can be dynamic if you give them an opportunity.
Yeah, with Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, the veteran Devontae's there. They have a solid running game, not an explosive running game, but it is solid with Kyron Williams. Listen, they can put up points in a hurry if you let them. And the thing that the Bears defense is really going to be tasked with doing is trying their best to kind of slow them down. That is a Rams team that, if you are not careful, will put up 40 on you quick.
Yeah.
Even I don't care what the conditions are. I just think the Bears have run into quarterbacks over the past several weeks who are able to, be able to read defenses, make the right throws, and really just shred the secondary apart. And now you've got a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Matt Stafford getting ready to come in here. So whatever Dennis Allen can do to give them different looks, try to stay away from, straight man to man, because that did not fare well at all against the Packers. And the Rams have a way better wide receiving core than the Packers do. So you want to try to stay away from man to man. Just give them different looks, different blitz packages, just anything, just kind of disrupt them. You talked about the pass rush. It's been wildly inconsistent over the whole season. Do we know the status of Gervon Dexter? Because he got banged up in that game too.
You mean the inability for him to fall on a fumble? Yeah, the status is that sucked. That's his status.
Okay, all right.
you wanted an answer, so that's the answer. That was not great. I did not like that.
No, not at all. Just fall on the ball sign. But still, they got to be able to get some type of pressure, even if it's not sacks. Get some pressures. Make Matthew Stafford a little uncomfortable. Hey, we know from his time in Detroit, if you get enough pressure on him, he will give you the ball.
Yeah. So we're going to find out. I got a good feeling about the Bears in this game against the Rams. I think it'll be a close game. First of all, I'm betting the total. So that means that you're right. It will be a high-scoring game. But it all depends, like everything else, on the defense of the Bears. What are they going to do? I'll take a takeaway. Sure, I'll take them every game that the Bears play. But also, like, what are you going to do about in the middle of the field when the linebackers are trying to figure out where they need to go, when you're not gap sound, when your eyes are someplace they're not supposed to be? Don't take it from me. Take it for those who played, the Lance Briggs and the Jerry Azumas and guys from that 06 NFC Championship team. Those defensive, Alex Brown, they all say the same thing. It's like, hey, man, it's about discipline. You have to be able to take care of your man. You're in man. You got to take care of your responsibility. There was a mixture of zone in that game as well that I think that kind of confused the Packers, as the Packers were they were just fit to be tied. They just became unglued in that second half. The defense has something to do with it. So I trust the offense at some point to be able to score a bunch of points. The defense has to do their job to make sure that the coach doesn't go for it on 4th and 8, 4th and in your own end, or 4th and 6. Like, that's just nonsense. Yeah. I'll play you and I'll beat your ass in Madden right now, Charles, going 4th and 8. And by the way, they got to implement that the next Madden, right? That has to be a play where it's like, if it's 4th and 8, that Caleb will come through. Like, that's got to be at least once or twice. You can hit that AB, whatever that button is, to get it to Roma Dunze for a first down, because now we know Caleb can do that, right?
Yeah, he can make, as he said 3 weeks ago, or when they after they played the Browns, I can make any throw. I can make any throw. But back to the defense, though, I do have a concern with TJ Edwards being out in this game. And he's had an up and down season. Part of that has been due to him, being injured. But without him out there, it's really like you talked about the gap protection, staying in your lanes, not you know overrunning lanes and allowing cutbacks, things like that. Those linebackers are going to have to be in lockstep and play their areas. You can't have any slip ups, because if the secondary slips up, your secondary is toast. You can forget
Yeah.
about it. They're just going to get burned. So the guys that's left, Edmonds, Jackson, the other guys, the Sewells,
Yeah.
um, they're gonna have to be on their A game for this one.
I do have a few other news and notes for you regarding the Chicago Bears. Very quietly, and this is a piece from the Chicago Tribune. Don't know if you see that.
I
Roger
do.
Goodell. Roger Goodell slipped into town over the weekend. And the story from the Chicago Tribune, this also is a story from Fox 32's Parrish Schutz. And I like Parrish Schutz a lot. And the reason why is because he's old school City Hall, a guy that's on the beat. Watch that channel, man. There's some good stuff that's going on there. It's like the way they used to cover Mayor Washington back in the day, like
Hmm.
the way City Hall used to be,
Yeah.
with Ed Verdoliak standing on the table, cussing out Harold. That like it's good stuff. But I saw his report and I read that the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell joined top Chicago Bears officials to tour potential new stadium sites before the team's stunning playoff win against the Green Bay Packers. A source familiar with the situation. So they went to Arlington Heights. Did Kevin Warren, Bears officials, Roger Goodell, to take a look at the Arlington Heights piece. And then they went to Northwest Indiana. Now, I don't know if Roger Goodell's ever been in Gary, but I think that's where they were looking at the old steel mills to take a look, see what's going on there, right? So my reaction is, and it's going to stay this way, like the Chicago Bears cannot be in Indiana. I was just in LaPorte, Indiana for the LaPorte basketball tournament, Charles, and the mayor of LaPorte, some of the dignitaries there are licking their chops. They're like, yeah, yeah, bring the Bears, because they know that means dollar signs for the state of Indiana, right?
Oh,
But I'm
yeah.
here to tell you, the Chicago Bears are not the Chicago Bears if they're playing in the state of Indiana. Like this state's so big, like you could put this anywhere, but New York, New Jersey, however the Giants and the Jets fans reconcile that their teams play in New Jersey, all good for them. But around here, the Bears have to play in the state of Illinois. If it's Arlington Heights, you bought the land, all good. You don't have any place in Chinatown or Bronzeville or like anywhere else to put it. You can't put it on the east side. You don't want to do that in Chicago, fine. But Charles, you cannot put this in Indiana. You can't do it because that's not the Chicago Bears then.
No, it's. I think this is, and I know Kevin Warren's, just trying to, turn over every rock he can and see what type of sweet deal
Yeah.
that he can get from either the state of Illinois or the state of Indiana. But I just think at the end of the day, they're in Arlington Heights. You don't buy the land. You don't rip up the old Arlington Heights race course. You don't do all of that without a plan. And kudos to Kevin Warren for trying to see what else he can get. Whether they could have stayed downtown, or whether you can go to Northwest Indiana or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're gonna break ground in Arlington Heights. It makes zero sense to have the Bears in the state of Indiana. None. None. And listen, will people go out there? Yes, it's the Bears. They're gonna do it because it's their team. But the team belongs in Illinois. It's as simple as that. And I just think at the end of the day, the Bears may just have to swallow their pride a little bit, cough up a little bit more money, and get the stadium deal done, and get it built. I think, when did they first buy Arlington Heights? Was that like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
Somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
Yes, that is the case. And guess what?
Yeah.
And guess what? The governor of Illinois, Governor Pritzker, is trying to show everybody that he's not going to give in to millionaires and billionaires, even though he's one of them. because this man's going to try to run for office. He's going to try to run for president, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
Dude is looking good in his suits lately, and like and even though he tells everybody that he's a millionaire, billionaire, he's trying to make it seem like that he's not aligning himself with millionaires and billionaires. So that way he's not going to give in to the McCaskies or the Reinsdorfs for that matter, because remember the White Sox are looking for a stadium too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a nice political play, but I think that Kevin Warren has to hit the reset button and be like, look, all right, let's start over, because, Pritzker said he's not talking about this Bears Stadium in the legislature in 2026. That's wild. I look forward to your column on that, by the way, because that's wild that that's going to be the case, that he's not going to talk about it. That has to be a topic. You've got to be, if you are the Bears in the state of Illinois, you've got to be able to do something here. And I know that people that are watching in the state of Indiana, because we get this on ESPN Chicago, what's wrong with Indiana? Like, there's nothing wrong with Indiana, but you have the Colts. Okay, that's you have your team, the Colts, and the Chicago Bears are a team that should be in the Chicagoland area. They've got to figure it out. Kevin Warren came in here and was like, "Oh, I took care of I built the stadium for the Vikings. Twin Cities politics is just fine." Like, dude, he had no idea what he's running into with the red tape in this state, and there's a lot of it. We grew up with it. We know what it is. He didn't know what it is when he first got here. So, but he's learning now. That's for sure.
Yeah, he is learning now, and he's gonna have to, like you said, hit the reset button and make a real choice. Like you've already purchased the land out there. It's yours. It'd be a shame to just waste it and just have it be one big empty space. Like, just go ahead and get it done. Like, the NFL is, I'm sure, is promised some form of money. You just may have to cough up some more money. I know the McCaskies may not like that, but at some point, you have to make money. You got to spend a little money, is what they always say. You can't continue to play in the smallest stadium in the NFL, in a stadium, by the way, that you don't even own. So you don't get to see, those profits, when big name entertainers come into Soldier Field to do concerts, or, when they have these huge soccer matches at Soldier Field, you don't see a dime of that.
No.
So if Kevin Warren is smart, and I would trust that he is, he'll get this thing done, and they'll start to break ground, because now it's starting to look like a clown show.
Okay, so we talked about Soldier Field. Can I ask you about a different arena?
Sure.
In the Chicagoland area? Let me ask you about the team that you cover, the Chicago Bulls. Can I ask you about the United Center? Okay.
Go right ahead.
So Peacock and I are going to see New Edition at the United Center. If you and the wife would like to come, please come. Please join us at the United Center. New Edition's coming in. They're doing basketball stadiums. I thought they were doing casinos. Apparently, they're doing basketball stadiums and selling out across the country. Like, all right,
cool.
Let me just so I can look at my calendar, just for the levity of it. They're going to perform, Charles, New Edition. Let me see. Oh, that's next month, actually. Next month. They're going to be here February 4th, Wednesday, in Chicago. Not a weekend. We get Wednesday. That's how big it is. Wednesday? A school night, as we used to say back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And that shit ain't starting till like 9.
Because Bobby is going to be late.
Yes, exactly right. I'm dying. It's going to be at 9 o'clock when I got to get up at 3:45 in the morning. So I bring this up, sir, because you covered for your platform Bulls Heat, a game that never happened because it was raining at the United Center, and it would have to be 55 degrees in January, and you got the ice underneath the floor and the condensation to the point where we had a 90-minute delay, and then they finally did not go to the game. It was unplayable conditions. My question to you is, when you go to the United Center, do you find it to be old? because it felt old to me that was raining in there.
Yeah, that was a bad look. Like the stadium was that was in 1994 when it was built. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's 30 years old. Like teams have, built stadiums and moved into new stadiums by then,
yes,
in that 30 years. I mean, they've made some, a couple of facelifts, in the stadium. But yeah, it's 30 years. And to have that be the reason that you can't play a game is, laughable in a sense that they couldn't get that together, or that they didn't have the wherewithal that, hey, it's going to be close to 60 degrees. We might want to think about taking some extra precautions here to make sure that we can get a game going tonight. But nevertheless, th- you know, Reinsdorf is also in a very peculiar situation when it comes to the United Center and this project. What was it, 1807 or something,
yeah.
that they've got around the United Center. I'm hoping that part of that project is like a facelift, a real facelift for the United Center, because like how much longer are you going to be in that particular stadium playing games like that? It's been 30 years. You're gonna have to make some adjustments. You're gonna have to make some things to keep it modern, because much like the Bears, playing in a Soldier Field that's really outdated.
It is.
The Bulls are running into that problem too.
I think the UC's nice still after all these years, right? It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like Allstate Arena, which is not one of is not my favorite arena at all. Just
Neither
for
mine.
concerts
Yeah.
for wrestling, it's just not. It's hard to get out of that place. It's
Yeah.
just and the acoustics are not great all the time for concerts. Like I'm not a fan of the old Rosemont Horizon Allstate Arena, but for the United Center, it's what you just laid out. Like they aren't moving because of the infrastructure around it. Like the United Center is going to be on that same spot. Now, will they build another one on that same level on that same property? I don't know. I don't know, but I just thought it was fascinating to watch the mops and the brooms and like all the squeegees and the
The
towels.
CGs and the towels, you're
Oh my god!
trying to make sure Aja Wilson doesn't doesn't slip and break her ankle or something like that. It's like, what are we doing?
That would have been a shame for her to be able to slip with that camera looking that good. That would have been bad. A bad look for Chicago and a
Yeah,
lawsuit.
yeah, absolutely.
That would have taken care of that new basketball league, that new 3-on-3 league. That would have given
Yeah.
plenty of money to that. That would have funded
Ugh.
it for the next 30 years. But yeah, man, I laughed at that because I was just like, how's this happening? The Heat fly in there and there's no game. And it made the Bulls, and I don't understand. It was a monsoon out there, Gorilla.
Oh,
There was a whole bunch of bad weather out there. But I was
yeah.
just like, it made Chicago look so small that they couldn't get the game in. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is the number 3 market in the United States. Like we got to be better than this, people.
God, so bad. So hopefully it will not rain in there when we go see New Edition on February 4th.
On a Wednesday?
On Wednesday night. That's a tough spot there. I was thinking,
That's a bad spot.
I mean, look, I look at concerts. Sorry, I'm a wrestling fan, but
Yeah.
as you well know, I look at it like wrestling, right? Wrestling, a pro wrestling circuit would not book a major city in the middle of the week. They would not. They would do it on the weekend. Like if
Right.
it was Rockford, you can understand that, right? Hammond, if they're
Yeah.
running through there, something like that. Springfield, downstate. You want to do Carbondale. You can do that in the middle of the week. It's fine, right?
Right.
Milwaukee, even if you felt like Milwaukee Wednesday, Thursday, fine. Chicago, man, they are making money hand over fist that they can say, yeah, we'll just drop it in on a Wednesday night, and I'm sure it'll be sold out for the
Oh, it's gonna be
New
packed.
Edition.
Yeah, it's gonna
Oh
be
my god,
packed.
it's something, man. But it won't rain in there, hopefully, with on Ralph Tresvant and the rest of New Edition. Tell us about what you're doing, man. Tell us about where people can find you, the ctjreport.net and all your other platforms.
Yeah, so YouTube is where you can find me. I'll be doing a lot of posting there, both video and blog form on YouTube. You can catch me on TikTok. You can catch me on Threads, especially during Bears games, kind of live. What is it? Live threading during Bears games and Bulls. Bulls. But that's where you can catch me. YouTube, TikTok, Threads.
Yes, we are both going after the Bears on Threads. I use it as a notepad just to be able to get my notes together. That's what I use it for. Just to line up my notes.
Yeah, I use it as a therapy, as I can like just get out my angry tweets, my angry thread post, and then just keep it moving.
We are presented by Marriott Bonvoy. When inspiration hits, have the points to make it happen, whether it's rewarding a detour or an impromptu experience. There are countless places to go and things to do. Buy or gift points now at Marriott Bonvoy. My family uses it. This is what we travel with. It helps when you have points to be able to go wherever you like to go on those beach vacations. So consider that for 2026 by clicking my link in the bio. That way you can get the points or give points as a gift. Marriott Bonvoy, a proud partner of Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Well, Charles, as always, I appreciate you joining me, man. We are euphoric about this Bears run, and hopefully it does not end on Sunday. Let it keep moving on, man. Just continue to prove people wrong and prove yourself right if you're the Bears, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Listen, this thing does not need to end until February 8th.
All good. I'm good with that.
Yeah. February 8th. That's when it should end. You know, that will be the perfect send off for the Bears season, to just go all the way to the Super Bowl and win it. Why not? Why not the Bears?
I checked my calendar. I'm available in February for that, for a Super Bowl. I'm available.
Nice.
I think we all will, based on how this season's gone for Ben Johnson. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. For Charles Taylor, it's Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for checking out Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. We got so much more as we get you ready for the Bears and the Rams. Appreciate you checking out the links, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe and comment to this video and all the videos we have for Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. For Charles, I'm Jay Hood. So long, everybody.